Yeah, sure. So now we will identify what are the different artifacts we have required for the project. We have the list of the artifacts, and now our task will be who will be owning this document in the sense like who is the person responsible for creating the document and updating the document and then getting the approvals from the document. So here we will say the scope document mostly will be prepared by the client and then the BRD. In few scenarios, we might get from the client or we will also mention the and FRS document. This should be owned by a BA and this should be owned by a BA along with the BA slash tech lead, or you can say as technical team, tech team. And the stakeholder management team, this should be prepared by the BA. Gap analysis work also should be prepared by the BA. And when we have the use case diagram, this also need to be updated by BA. And wireframe designs, this is also to be updated by BA. So now here, coming to the test suite, we'll be getting that from the BA, and here again you will be This notes release will be created by BA along by working. We can say like what we can mention like BA by with working along with the dev team, along with the dev team. Then here also dev team slash sometimes we require the operations team as well, like when they need to deploy the code in the back database or in the servers. These will be handled by the operations team. Operations team. And then the post-production validation document will be prepared by the BA. So just make it as this is an entirely different team. Again here. So now if you look at this particular section, say the documents that are completely owned by the BA without having any dependency with other teams or FRS the document, which should be the BA is the only person responsible for particular document, and then the stakeholder management, the gap analysis worksheet, preparing the use case diagrams, preparing the wireframe designs, and then the post-production validation document. So these are the things that are completely owned by the BA, whereas here also I will mention like client of BA. Sometimes the client will be giving us the high level definition. So he will be asking us like whatever, if we have any scope document template design for our existing projects, and if he asks us to follow or to update that particular template to design the scope, then we will be working on it to prepare this scope document with the help of client. And we need to add one more column here, approval. Approved by. So similarly, we need to identify for the Agile as well, like who will be owning this particular activity. So in the we once we done the sprint planning, then we need to have the one more section I forgot to add. We need to have the sprint retrospective meetings. Excuse me. So here we will be seeing it as a sprint retrospective meetings. So here what we will do in this meeting is like what went well and then what needs to be improved, and then we'll take the open suggestions for the sprint for effective sprint release. Yeah, and before doing this sprint retrospective, we need to have the one more column here, which is sprint release. So what we need to do here in the sprint release, we need to make sure there should not be any scope. Not to make sure that all user stories are at done state. So, and then what else we are having in the sprint release? We'll check whether all the user stories are completed or not. Then we need to check all the user stories are burned or logged. Story points, or we can also tailor the estimates. Find. And then we will have the spillovers, which indicates spillovers are nothing but say if any user story which is incomplete, which is not incomplete, or we can say like before done, which is not in ready state, then with the confirmation of the PO, we will move this story to the next sprint or slash upcoming sprint. Okay, so this is yeah. So any doubts till now, Anjani?
No.
So you are aware of like what we are doing, right? So
Yeah.
the activity that what we are doing now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we will continue the same activity in tomorrow's session, completing this worksheet, or we can say it as like completing this document, and then we will go to the next topics, uh, the gap analysis, and there is one more concept called as a JAD sessions. Uh,
Okay.
those are completely theoretical concepts. Uh,
Okay.
and then here we will, what we will do is in tomorrow's session, we will also figure out or list out what are the documents or the concepts that we have not covered till now. And we will make those points, make those activities as highlighted. And then we will uh, start focusing on them from the next week, so that when we start working on the project, so you will be aware of the complete the terminology or the required documents that we are going to use.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's all for today's session. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Anjani.
Thank
Bye.
you.